actually, yeah, I'll ask you a little bit more. One of the things that struck me, and I don't know if anyone else noticed, but there's a mirror in nearly every scene. And yeah, I see like impossible camera angles there, where you can't possibly be filming that by a mirror. How did all of that work on set?
Well, the idea was to shoot the whole film through artificial lenses and also counter with mirrors, so everything became more about voyeurism. Even as a consumer, you are a voyeuristic because it's all about the act of seeing. So, the idea of the film visually was to make it essentially partly like a fashion magazine that you would just turn the pages on, and then the film would essentially end as its own perfume campaign.
Its own perfume campaign? The neon, would anyone buy Neon Demon perfume? There's a great shot. I don't know how widely it was shared, of you and Elle at the premiere after party with candy eyeballs.
Yes.
A line of NWR candy eyeballs along the way, maybe.
Working on it.
Okay. So, what was your favourite scene to direct?
Well, I liked everything with Elle. I think that was always certainly. She reminded me very much of Ryan Gosling. That they're both born with this natural ability to just transcend. And so it was always a great pleasure to work with her. And she's fearless. And she was 16 when we started making the movie, and she turned 17 while we were shooting the movie. And 4 weeks before Cannes, she turns 18 and has a prom night in Cannes. So almost the movie followed her real life.
Right, yeah. And what about that for the ultimate prom night? A premiere in Cannes. There aren't too many people that can say that.
We flew in her date.
Oh!
I think he's in the audience, right? Yeah.
One of the interesting things, when you wrote the film, how did you envision the whole scene in the motel with the mountain lion working out? Like that looked like a nightmare to shoot.
It was terrible. I mean,
the insurance must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was the most expensive day of all to shoot. I hired a mountain lion, which cost a fortune. I kept him in a cage for a couple of half the day while we were doing the other stuff. Elle went home. We blocked off the hotel room or the motel room, and we just let the mountain lion loose for about a couple of hours, and then called it quits.
The trouble with talking to Nicolas is you never know when he's joking or when he's serious. I have no idea if anything of that happened.
You did.
Seriously, you let it roam around.
You were trying to tell it what to do.
Right, okay, yeah, that is a fair point. It was great to see Keanu Reeves in there. What was it like working with Keanu?
Well, he's the king. and I mean, especially I'd met him many years before, and just on a movie that never happened, and I got fired from it, by the way, and but I always
for letting a mountain lion loose on the set, maybe.
No, it's a long story. It's online. No. So with this film, I just basically gambled, and I called them up and I said, hey, I don't have a lot of money. I got bad coffee. I got plastic chairs. Do you want to come down and shoot for a couple of weeks, please? And he said, sure. And he came down and stuck a knife in Elle's throat.
Oh yeah, of course, because you actually had to shoot that, didn't you? Oh my goodness. Another insurance nightmare. Let's see. So the scene that I'm itching to talk about is the one in the morgue. So it's, and I'm going to have to, this is where I'm actually going to have to cheat, because I'm going to have to look in the IMDb Jury. How about this? Oh, actually, I've got some little notes in. So, Cody Renee is the actress who was the corpse.
Yes.
And she wasn't really dead?
No.
You didn't kill her with a mountain lion then?
No, but I think she was like semi-X-rated actress.
Right, okay. And is she also the world champion freediver who can hold the breath for that long, or how did that work?
I think she was surprised that Jenna Malone was going to spit in her mouth.
All right. Did someone direct Jenna Malone to spit in her mouth? I'm going to say what I heard.
Okay, let's get to that. So the only scene I couldn't shoot in chronological order was the morgue scene, and because it was too expensive, because I couldn't go back and rent the same place twice. And it was shot at the
Nicolas could never go to the same place twice.
So we're in the first week, and we have about a 7-week shooting schedule, and at that time, Ruby was going to die later on, and the film had a much more longer kind of epilogue.
Right. Okay.
So, but the Ruby character was the hardest one to define in the script because it's all about inner beauty and many other things than what you see. So, it took a very brave actress like Jenna Malone to even tackle what could this character essentially become. Yeah. And so this is on a Thursday, the first week, and I have Elle for about 5 weeks, and then I have 2 weeks to do the rest of the scenes. So the morgue scene, we have to shoot on the same day as doing the painting scene. This is shot in a real morgue, so I had to sign a petition saying if anyone died, we had to leave, which was kind of threatening because I would lose a day, and the bond company wasn't going to give it back to me. So so right before lunch, we do the face painting scene, and that's all really going well. Break for lunch. Now we're going to get to the sex scene. And in the script, it just said Jenna Malone or Ruby bends over and kisses the body, and then you cut to Elle Fanning, and then it's her fantasy about Elle, or is it Elle fantasizing about death?
Yeah.
And I like to operate the camera, so I'm sitting behind the camera, and action, and Jenna Malone comes in, and I've only had one girlfriend, so I don't know a lot about women and sexuality really. So I'm trying to say is that what I'm going to say right now I don't fantasize about, but sitting behind the camera, operating it, and Jenna comes in, and I'm playing music. I play a lot of music when I work, also during the scenes. And I go, can you spit out our mouth? And she does. I go, okay, because I'm trying to be really intimate. Which is kind of ridiculous.
with a full film set,
yeah, with like a whole crew behind me and an X-rated actress lying on the metal thing, and I go, but I'm helping the mood, so I go, can you put your hands between her legs? And she does. Then I start to get a little more comfortable, I get a little more like confident in my own sexuality. And then I go, can you, okay, all right. So I need a lot of saliva. Yeah, can you spit at her nipples again? And then when your tongue goes over her, no, more saliva, no, okay, do it again. No, look, I'll tell you what, just start from scratch, go in. Anyway, after 2 hours of that, the scene's completed, and the film is completely changed.
Right, yeah, sure.
Because now I realize that I'm not changed, the film has changed. That Jenna Malone is now 50% of this film's journey.
Right.
And the
okay,
film
yes.
had to be about Elle and Jenna.
Yeah.
So Jenna wasn't gonna die now.
Yeah.
And that the whole ending needed to be rearranged.
Right.
So it got condensed by ending the way that it ended up ending at the Malibu beach house with the eye throwing up scene.
So talking of the end of the movie, and this, I'm terrible for doing this kind of thing. I always wonder, you know, like what happens to the characters after the credits roll. So do you think Jessie was she missed? Did anyone come and track them down? What happens in the Neon Demon 2? I think is essentially what I'm asking here. Neon Demon 2 back in the morgue.
Well, the joke was that when we were making the movie, Elle and I said if there was a continuation, we were going to call it Beyond the Neon Demon.
Oh, I like what you did there.
But the idea that we played a lot with Elle and I, because you know she was very instrumental in creating the Jessie character, was that on one level Jessie was like a deer in the headlight innocence coming to the city to be corrupted, and the other version is that she's like an evil Dorothy coming to poison everyone else. So if you go through the movie, there are clues that leads to another version of her.
Right.
That in a way that she is what she's done this before.
Yeah.
So she's reminiscent of some of the other characters in my other films, that they kind of relive their own lives again and again and again.
Yeah, I guess the line for me was, and I cheated again. Thank you, IMDb. I don't want to be like them. They want to be like me. Yeah. So amazing cinematography from Natasha. How did you find her? And I know there's a little bit of an interesting story about her well, not her audition process, but you getting her interested in shooting the film.
Well, I couldn't find anyone else to do the movie because I didn't have it. I shoot very inexpensive movies, but it's this kind of classic version where I've been doing a lot of or a few fashion campaigns with some very big photographers, and they would be like, oh, we love your movies, we love your cinema. They're always Europeans. We love your cinema. And I'm like, great, wow, I mean, I love your work. You won Oscars for this and Oscars for that. And they're like, yes, please call us next time you make a movie. I'm like, wow, this is how easy it is. You get into the club and they all want to work with you. So I'm in LA again, preparing to film. I don't live in LA, so we had to move the whole family here. So it's a big process. I'm in LA, and I call up. I'm casting. I call up one of these photographers and I say, "Okay, we're on. 6 months. We're going to be shooting. Oh, fantastic. No problem. And I go, just just a small thing. I'm sure you don't have a problem with this, but I can only pay you $3,000 a week." Oh, no, not possible. So, from a guy who is quote unquote famous for making visual movies, I couldn't get a fucking photographer. So